Let's move on. The muscles of the thorax, including the two parts, intrinsic muscle and extrinsic muscle. The intrinsic muscle is originated from the thoracic cage, terminated to the thoracic cage. The extrinsic muscle means originated from the thoracic cage, terminated to the upper limb. At first, let's see the extrinsic muscle, including the pectoralis major, and this one, the pectoralis major, and then the pectoralis minor, and this one, the serratus. The serratus is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dense, and then terminate to the medial border of the scapulae, and then pull the medial border touch the trunk. And then let's say the pectoralis minor is originated from the 3, 4, 5 ribs, terminated to the coracoid process. And then the pectoralis major, and from this picture, let's see, it's originated from the here, the lateral aspect of the sternum, and then the costal cartilage. This one, the inferior aspect or surface of the clavicle, and then don't forget here, this part. Let's see, from here, what is anterior layer of the sheath of the rectus abdominis. And then this one, and then this here, this all the origin. And then insertion the muscle fiber to the lateral side, like put our hand to the thorax, and then to the lateral side, terminate to the crest of the greater tubercle. So let's compare the pectoralis major and latissimus dorsi. This one is from anterior surface, that one is from the posterior surface. So the function of them a little bit different. And then the pectoralis major, and then make the shoulder joint the adduction, and then the medial rotation, and then flexion. But the latissimus dorsi make the shoulder joint extension. This is the pectoralis major. And then if we want hold the transverse bar, pull up our body, and then at that time the muscles is contract, make our trunk ascending along the direction. This is the pectoralis major. The intrinsic muscle as here, including the internal cotyledus interni and the intercotyledus externi. What's the intercotyledus interni? Let's say as here, the intercotyledus externi. And then let's say this one, let's join it, change the color. The rib, use the black color. The rib, this direction, and this direction, the ribs is here. And then the muscle fiber. The muscle fiber, let's say, the intercotyledus externi in this direction. I only join the left chest in this direction, the muscle fiber. Yeah. And then between the costal cartilage is formed the membrane, the intercotyledus, the external intercostal membrane is here. And this the intercotyledus externi. The intercotyledus interni, and then this fiber direction is like this. I use the blue color to show it. Let's see. It originates from the inferior rib to the superior rib in the direction. Let's see. its direction is different. Understand? So the intercostalis externi is pull up the rib, and the intercostalis interni is pull down the rib, and then our thoracic cage under the action of these two muscles can increase the capacity and decrease the capacity. So we can inspiration and expiration. This is the intrinsic muscle. And then let's see the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a dome between the thoracic cavity and the abdominal cavity. It separates the abdominal cavity and the thoracic cavity. And then it's convexed, concave to the, the convex to the thoracic cage. And then, so when we view the thoracic cavity, its true capacity is lesser than to the thoracic cage because the diaphragm protrude to the upward. And then, according to its origination, the diaphragm divided the three parts. It's originated from the surrounding region and then terminate to or inserted to the central tendon. And then start from the posterior surface or the inner surface of the sternum is named the sternal part. And then origin from the lumbar region is named the lumbar part. The others origin from the inner surface of the ribs is named the costal part. And then on the diaphragm, there are three hiators or three openings. The three openings and then it permits the important structure passing through the diaphragm from the abdominal cavity to the thoracic cavity. One, let's see, and then between the two diaphragmatic clasp, and then about the level of the T12, it's named the aortic apertures, and then the aorta and the thoracic duct passing through the first opening. And then the second one, superior and a little left to the aortic aperture. And this is named esophageal aperture or the hiators. And then from its name, let's say, it's esophageal aperture. It means the esophagus passing through. Accompanied with it is vigorous trunk passing through the esophageal hiators. And then about the level of the T10, it means it's correspondent to the 10th thoracic vertebrae. And then another one, right to the esophageal hiators, is named the vena cava foramen or the vena cava aperture, located in the central tendon, about the level of the T8, the inferior vena cava passing through this foramen. And then like this table, we must remember this. The thoracic hiators, the esophageal hiators, and the vena cava foramen. So these three names, and then the level T12, T10, and T8. The passing structures, including the abdominal aorta, the thoracic duct, esophagus, two vigorous trunk, and the inferior vena cava. And then this part we finished. And let's see, answer the question. Please describe the composition of the extrinsic muscles of thorax. And then the fourth one, here. Sorry, here, remove this one. I typed more. And then the fifth question, please describe the division of the diaphragm and the openings, the passing structures of the diaphragm.